Hey everyone, how are you all doing? I just gotta say, I'm actually feeling a little excited because next month, Summer Game Fest will finally be here. Now at the same time, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much because for all we know, this is gonna be another one of those Summer Game Fest shows that turns out disappointing. You know, kind of where they spend most of the event showing games and updates that just don't interest us at all. I remember back in the days of E3, State of Play, and all those other showcases, I used to go into them expecting huge announcements and reveals that would completely blow us away. But after watching so many showcases over the years that felt boring or underwhelming, I kind of stopped expecting too much. Sometimes it's honestly better to wait like 30 minutes after the show starts so you can skip through the games you don't care about, or just watch a recap afterward and only check out the trailers that actually interest you. But with all that said, I still think there's a good chance Summer Game Fest could surprise us this year, because there are still a lot of games that are supposed to release in 2026 that still don't have release dates. There are also several games expected within the next year or two that could easily show up here. So here are some of the games and announcements I'm really hoping we see at Summer Game Fest. First up is Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Capcom has released several trailers for this game already, and I gotta say, every single one of them has looked amazing. This game has honestly got me really hyped, because even though I never fully beat the original Onimusha games on PS2, I still loved what I played of them. I liked going around taking down enemies, absorbing the Genma, souls with the gauntlet, and fighting bosses. This is definitely one of those games I plan on playing when it finally releases. At this point though, the one thing we really need is the release date. We've got multiple trailers already, but still no official date. So hopefully Summer Game Fest is finally where Capcom gives it to us. Next is Resident Evil Requiem DLC. We already know the game itself is supposed to release this year, and interestingly enough, the Summer Game Fest teaser included several quick shots that looked like RE9 footage. That immediately got people thinking we could finally get another trailer and maybe a release date. We could also find out whether the latest rumors about Ada Wong and Chris Redfield returning are actually true. I'll be honest, I was pretty surprised Ada didn't appear in the main game, considering Leon is involved, because usually those two somehow end up connected. According to rumors shared online, there are supposedly multiple DLC expansions planned, including stories involving Ada, Chris, Alyssa, and Leon. Of course, until Capcom officially confirms something, we should take all leaks with caution, but Summer Game Fest feels like the perfect place to finally reveal more. Another game I really hope appears is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. Last year at the Game Awards, we finally got our first look at this remake, and honestly, it looked incredible. At first, I didn't even realize it was supposed to be a remake because I never actually played the original game myself. What people really want now is gameplay and the release date. There were rumors saying the game had been delayed to 2027, but recently there were reports suggesting it may still be targeting 2026, after a LinkedIn post from a studio involved with development mentioned coming 2026. If that's true, then Summer Game Fest feels like the perfect opportunity to finally show more gameplay and officially confirm when the game launches. Then there's Control Resonant. We first saw this game at the Game Awards back in 2025, and I actually like the direction they're taking with it. Instead of spending the entire game inside a paranormal building like the oldest house, this one appears to take place in Manhattan, which honestly sounds refreshing. What we really need though is gameplay and a release date. The game is supposedly planned for the second half of 2026, but we still haven't gotten a date yet. Summer Game Fest would be the perfect chance to finally reveal it. Now let's talk about the rumored Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. This has been rumored for a very long time, and apparently it could be the next major Resident Evil remake before Resident Evil 10. Capcom always finds a way to keep Resident Evil going, whether it's with returning characters or completely new protagonists. We saw that with Ethan Winters in RE7 and Village, and now with Leon and Grace Ashcroft in the newest game. Reliable leakers like Dust Golem have hinted that the Code Veronica remake could finally be announced at Summer Game Fest. If that rumor turns out true, that would easily be one of the biggest moments of the event. Another thing I'm hoping for is a brand new Mortal Kombat game. In a recent interview, Ed Boon teased that NetherRealm has several exciting announcements planned. which immediately got people speculating about the next Mortal Kombat, and possibly even a new Injustice game. Summer Game Fest honestly feels like the perfect stage to reveal what our NetherRealm has been working on. Then there's Jurassic Park Survival. It's already been 3 years since this game was announced, and we still haven't really gotten proper gameplay. The original reveal trailer was mostly cinematic, except for a few quick stealth moments involving dinosaurs. This is actually the kind of Jurassic Park game I've always wanted. I'm personally not really into the Jurassic World Evolution style games, where you mostly build parks and manage everything. I want a survival focused game where you're actually trying to survive dangerous dinosaurs. The behind the scenes videos have been interesting, but now we really need an actual gameplay trailer. Hopefully Summer Game Fest is where we finally get it. Another game I've become more interested in recently is Tides of Annihilation. At first I wasn't sure what to think about it, but the more they've shown, the more interested I've gotten. The combat reminds me a little of Devil May Cry mixed with Stellar Blade. The game is supposed to be over 30 hours long, with more than 30 bosses, which sounds massive. The Unreal Engine 5 visuals also look incredible. At this point, I think we've seen enough gameplay previews. What we really need now is the release date. And finally, Grand Theft Auto 6. I know I've mentioned GTA 6 in a lot of videos before, but with Rockstar's summer marketing period approaching, the next trailer honestly could arrive very soon. Summer Game Fest feels like the perfect opportunity to finally reveal trailer 3, or maybe even gameplay footage. The game is still supposedly targeting November 2026, which is honestly a relief, because people are worried about another delay. If the next trailer does appear, I really hope they show us more gameplay differences between Lucia and Jason, because that could make things really interesting. And if Rockstar really gives us the option to mainly play as one character throughout parts of the game, I'd probably start with Lucia, since we never really had a female GTA protagonist before. And realistically, I'm not expecting every single one of these games to appear at Summer Game Fest. Some of them probably won't show up at all. But I do think there's a good chance we could see games like Onimusha, Resident Evil Requiem DLC, Control Resonant, Tides of Annihilation, and maybe even GTA 6. As for the others, if they don't appear here, then maybe we'll see them later this year at the Game Awards, or sometime in 2027. But what about all of you? What are you hoping to see at Summer Game Fest? Do you think any of these games will actually show up? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.